Hello and welcome, SpeedGaming family, to the 2023 main tournament for the Link to the Past randomizer, where we have a second round matchup between Telethar and AceZer0 in one of our favorite modes, Open Hard. I am Mr. Ed3, and joining me in the booth today is Arya Stark. How are you, Arya?
I'm doing great, Ed. How are you doing tonight?
Oh, it's Friday, and I like it when people say TGIF, and then I realize, crap, I gotta work in the morning, so... but I get the before I go to work tomorrow, I get to enjoy common a race here between two very established runners here in the second round of the main tournament. Open Hard, for anybody that does not know, it's your standard. It's your I'd like to say standard open start, but it's just an open start. 48 pieces of hearts. We have 4 heart containers and 1 tank heart, so we still get 20 hearts out of it. There are 4 bottles placed, but our runners will only be able to get 1, and it will be empty. Our runners will not have half magic. There is going to be no progressive bows, so there's actually going to be a specific bow and silvers. There's no armor. 3 shields that's going to be capped at fighters, so for the people that do not like the fighter or any shields, you might be in luck. Yeah, I think that's basically it. I'm probably missing something, but looking forward to this. Telethar got the best of AceZer0 last night in Ambrosia. So he's up on the series 1-0, and we're going to see if AceZer0 can even the series up here. And we are off.
Both starting at Link's house for 20 rupees. And as you noted, Telethar up 1-0 in this series. Winner of this one will get, in the round of 16, the winner of Ganon's Gone Wild against Hayfield Bay. They played game 1 earlier today. Won't spoil that result. But again, at this stage of the tournament, nothing but outstanding players remaining. And Telethar and AceZer0, as you noted, 2 very experienced and skilled players.
I mean, I'd like to say that, there's nothing but good runners left, but, I'm still in the tournament, so, I don't know how we feel about that. Both runners making the uncle start, and also we see that the guards are in the magic pool, so both of them are able to get the full magic decanter. Be useful information later on if they end up running short. Just 20 arrows in the chest here, so let's see where they go off to. Let's go to Sank, and we just get that lovely map to Hyrule Castle. So Arya, is there anything that you're going to be looking for here from our runners? Are you looking for a nice friendly seed where we find progression, or are you the type of person that wants to see total and utter chaos?
Well, I mean, the ladders definitely brings the entertainment value. I'm very excited for the 48 pieces of heart. That's a pretty dynamic and exciting part of the mode. But what I am interested in is, again, AceZer0 down 1 game against somebody as skilled and experienced as Telethar. I'd like to see if, maybe there are some bold routing choices that are made to shake things up.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Telethar is able to get the information that the bush crabs are spitting out 20 rupees, and the knowledge that Lumberjack just has one of those 48 pieces of heart. So that's not going to be a hard aggro required, but we still might need it for Dark World access here. And I'd imagine AceZer0, he did get a look at the bush crab here. He might farm some before heading into CAC. Actually, you know what? No, there's enough rupees in CAC where you can get enough money for a bottle merchant. So he's just going to head right on down. Does not have any bombs, so this will be an interesting proposition if he goes ahead and tries to buy bombs or take a chance and go into either Blind Hut or CAC Well. No, looks like we're gonna take the safe approach here, which is I like. You don't really want to isolate skips right off the rip.
Yeah, having to double back into Blind Hut or the Well and just go into the back of the tavern, grab your 3 bombs, and you don't even have to spend those 50 right off the bat.
There you go. Never punished.
Yeah, between the Well and Blind's Hut, there's, what, 50? Well,
Yeah, if you never had to double dip, yeah, you get 30 from the Bomba Wall and Blind Hut. Or you get 30 there, and then there's 20 in Cackwell. So if you were really into a pinch, you can at least do one of those twice. So we get a map check. It looked like everything was crystals with a red crystal at Eastern, I believe.
Yeah, Eastern was the one I missed, but if that's the red crystal, then yeah, all three.
Yeah, we got our only bottle that we're going to be getting.
Pretty nice to find that in CAC. Knock that check out while you're here, plus bombos in the well. And fun, a mushroom.
Oh, good, a mushroom. Just turn that in. Let's not worry about fake powdering. Ever, ever, ever. Yeah, bottle merchant just giving us a big ripoff. Double the price of bombs.
Yeah, so not terribly much here in Kakariko thus far.
Yeah, this is actually pretty interesting. This would be AceZer0. I mean, obviously we're gonna be able to take a look at the library, not be able to get it. We're gonna have Sick Kid that we can check, and then we're gonna have the race game. But in AceZer0's side, he has like that uncomfortable amount of bombs where you could do like say Mini Moldorm Cave, but you don't really have any room for error, let alone if you go all the way to Ice Rod Cave. I'd be curious to see if he's going to top up on bombs or possibly just rush even Saha's, see what Saha's got after this.
Yeah, that was going to be my question as to, if you come out here and they're both going to have 6 bombs after Telethar gets this 3-pack, are you okay taking those 6 bombs to South Shore?
Honestly, not so much, only because nothing would be like, even if you get through Mini Moldorm Cave and God forbid if you have just enough bombs. Oh, we got Quake. We're gonna have to get that because we don't know if we need it. But if we, if you get through Mini Moldorm Cave and you don't get any bombs, and if you want to do Ice Rod Cave, well, you might not be able to. If you don't have a glove and be able to pick up the one rock, you may, you might just really leave that hard isolated. So, what I would do personally in this situation, especially since both our runners are going to use a bomb here, I just go ahead and say, hey, let's go rush Saha. We got obviously 1 bomb for that. It may provide something. It's basically a Sphere0 check as it is anyway. See if we can get any more information before we end up having to blast through a few more bombs. We'll see if AceZer0 makes a liar out of me. AceZer0 makes a liar out of me. Let's go.
It looks at the very least like he's going to head to the dam first. So I guess there could be the consideration of going dam to Agina and knocking out those couple things.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you got 3 checks here. Spend 1 bomb. I just like the main thing with the early game is try to be as efficient as possible. As a matter of fact, Telethar is going to go ahead and we're going to get a look at this mushroom. So he's going to set up a fake flipper here. We're going to take a shortcut to go to the Witch's Hut and see if there's anything valuable that the Witch has for us today.
I kind of like this. I mean, you get 2 medallions that you can't presently use, and other than that, just a mushroom in a bottle. Maybe try to give it a look and see if you got that mushroom for a reason.
Yeah. Okay, now this is really, really interesting. AceZer0 is going to go ahead for Mini Moldorm Cave here. Oh. He has... Oh, and it's a glove. That is kind of important. Now, if you can get a 2-for-1 here. But, of course, they're very separated. All right, this is the moment of truth. Oh no. That's low. That's what I was afraid of right there. Yeah. That was everything I was afraid of and then some there. So that's going to feel pretty bad.
Telethar taking that glove off the mushroom to the back of escape. We have already seen the map.
Hey, and of course a small key there. Wow, 2 pieces of heart and a small key. That was a beautiful back of escape right there. AceZer0's going to go ahead and buy some bombs. Got enough money for that. Take a look on Lake Highley Island. We have money that we wish we could have, but unfortunately we cannot get it at the current state. It looks like we're going to go for Mini Moldorm Cave round 2.
Yeah, hopefully with this bomb 10 pack it'll go a lot smoother. See where Telethar heads after going to the dam.
You know. By the way, come to think of it, and I know when it comes to race, sometimes you don't necessarily think of it, but AceZer0 did do the dam check, the dam and the drained item, and it only amounted to what? It was a shield and $20. He could have, if he wanted to, he could have actually just reset, and be able to get those bombs back. Might have been actually save a little bit of time. We wouldn't have had to buy anything. As it gets through this time, we get a shovel. Oh boy!
We're getting all the fun fetch quest items.
Wow, and yet more piece of heart. Again, to the developers, please, if we have a mode where there's 48 pieces of heart, please have a tracker on the top. Make it look like it's a Triforce hunt.
I'd fully approve of that. Telethar heading to the Agena area, and he's really done a good job of mining those bush crabs pretty efficiently. He has a pretty huge edge in rupees over AceZer0 in case that's needed for Zora anytime soon.
Yeah, and depending what we have here, he may even have enough Zora money. I think there's only 20 rupees in Mini Moldorm Cave. Oh wow, that was kind of an unlucky bomb drop there. Oh, there's another $20. With that glove, Zora is in logic, and with what little that we already have left, just $20 in Ice Rod Cave. With what little that we already have in logic, Zora could be an answer. Now, obviously, we have places like Saha and Eastern Palace, which could open up the answers a little bit. Plus, with that small key, the front of Hyrule Castle is in logic. Yeah, I'd be curious to see what the right decision is going to be. All I know is if it was me, I'd last locate.
AceZer0 pulling out the fake flipper here on South Shore, so without the Moon Pearl, he's pretty much limited to the guy under the bridge.
I don't care what anybody says, this man under the bridge is one of the more underrated checks. It always has the goods. Prove me wrong. It has. God, it is now officially the worst check in the game. Well, that's what I get for praising a check here, so rip me. I mean, the good news is the good news for me is that we don't have a hammer yet, so we can't even check Magic Bat. Telethar is getting a little trolled here with Mini Moldorm Cave. Going through all of his bombs. And there you go. Well done.
Yeah, that's a nice double at the end, salvaged it, but boy oh boy, they were being very elusive.
Yeah. Also, too, here, so AceZer0 ended up showing us a tech. Telethar is able to do it without the need for a bomb. But basically what ends up happening here to set up that fake flipper is you just have to get to the last pixel of the screen. And when you dive in and you hold to the direction that you want to go to, it ends up setting up a fake flipper. So the game, one way or another, just doesn't, check to see if you actually have flippers or not. It just says, oh yeah, you can swim, go right ahead. That's like the surefire way of being able to get it, which was pretty clutch there. Good game knowledge there. And he gets rewarded with that glove.
Yeah, so pretty reasonably, AceZer0 is going to head to the back of Escape to get his small key, 2 pieces of heart, and probably, I would guess, I would probably be chasing that shovel as much as I would hate to, before really committing to Saha, eastern area or the front of escape.
Yeah, I mean, we've already seen one fetch quest with that mushroom paying off. You know, generally speaking, whenever you get an early fetch quest right off the rip, you kind of expect it to, you know, to at least have something good. But yeah, we do have a question in chat. How did Telethar get all the money? Yeah, the bush crabs are spitting out $20 today, so he was able to farm all of that, and turn around and have enough money here for Zora. Now, again, without the Moon Pearl, we can't actually check Waterfall Fairy here, so the only thing that he's going to be able to do is take a look at Zora's Ledge. We don't even have the Splash Delete equipment to get that going. But Zora, again, with that glove, this is 100% in logic. And there's a sword on Zora's Ledge. The trolls continue. And Saha just has 10 arrows and 2 pieces of heart, so... What are we down to, Arya? Down to, I don't know if we did see that shovel or not, but we got...
not. No.
Yeah, we have not. So we got Eastern Palace, the shovel, front of Hyrule
Escape.
Castle. Yep.
Yeah. And this Zora check from Telethar.
Wow. 1% refund.
Wow.
Boo.
All those bush crabs for 5 rupees.
I know. That's just a...
Although again, he is still positioned well in terms of money, you know, going into Dark World. He won't need for much. But Telethar will give us the look at the shovel while AceZer0 heads into Eastern, so some interesting divergence.
Hey, there's a glove.
Interesting.
Wow, and Shovel has nothing.
Another banner day for the shovel.
So that glove is nice. That puts that gets us another piece closer to Dark World access, but doesn't open up anything else. I mean, it's a nice convenience thing to have. But unless we get the Moon Pearl or something else, like say a vanilla bow, a French vanilla bow. What is this seed already? Now, what are we feeling? We feeling a God Eastern Palace here? Big key right here, third item in the big chest. Don't have to worry about the vanilla big key location. There's the big key.
Yeah.
Now, I will say this much with AceZer0 here. Again, with him being down 1-0 to Telethar, even if this is a map or a compass, which it is a compass, I would not have faulted him if he just said, you know what, I gotta take a chance here to make up a little bit of time, especially with the whole mini Moldarm cave snafu. If he wanted to just go rush the boss, but he's gonna be efficient here, which I equally like as well. We're gonna go ahead and we're just gonna get this out of peace of mind.
Yeah, you can definitely see it either way. This vanilla big key chest is logically lamp locked, correct?
Correct. Yeah, the vanilla big key location is straight up lamp locked. Armos Knights is either locked behind the fire rod or the lamp. It's just that one dark room, and it has a torch. Yeah, and there you go. That's a map. So last item will be on Armos here. Telethar's gonna get his bow here and be like, I can imagine what's going through his mind. Now, with no sword, no ability to use Bombos or Quake, you have to rely heavily on arrows. And to be honest, as much as I try to teach people this is literally just kind of like muscle memory. Like, the more that you play, the more that you kind of get used to this. When you have absolutely no guide whatsoever, no boomerang, no sword, no ability to kill those. What are they called? Popos.
Yeah.
You know, but he's able to get through that very efficiently. Top up on arrows, because the bow is literally the only weapon that we have.
Yeah, that's definitely a dark room that is relatively simple in its layout, but it's definitely one that gave me a lot of trouble. I know when I was first starting to learn the more complicated advanced strategies, for the reasons you mentioned.
Oh, absolutely. All right, and there's plenty of arrows here, so we can top up before we go ahead and take on our first boss of the day, the Armos Knights. Hey, what a shock, a piece of heart.
Well, very efficiently done by AceZer0 there.
All right, so by process of elimination,
Yeah.
the answer is the front of Hyrule Castle, the front of Escape here. So, all right, get your guesses in chat. Which one has our progression? More than likely Moon Pearl. Check 1, 2, or 3. Dark Cross is technically not in logic as of yet, because we don't have a lamp or a fire rod. But I would imagine that the Moon Pearl is going to be behind one of them. And to be honest, I'm going to say AceZer0.
Yeah, it definitely makes the most sense in this case, especially with the two gloves. And basically nothing else that you would use to deal with Aga if it was an Aga seed. Although I suppose it could be the lamp to send you up the mountain for more fun stuff.
Could be the lamp, could be the boots. I mean, to be honest, listen, I'm a promoter of chaos, so I would very much appreciate something like say boots in Zelda Cell to go get the lamp in King's Tomb, to go get the hook shot from the old man, to go get the flute and the mirror on the mountain, to go activate the flute, to go to Checkerboard Cave, where the Moon Pearl just is there every time.
I think that's a fun sequence that the players would enjoy.
I think so too, and I know for a fact I would be blamed for it.
Yeah, so we see AceZer0's cleaning up some of those checks that Telethar did earlier. Shovel, Agina, all Telethar wrapped up the Armos Knights for his first crystal, and they're pretty much back even once more.
Yeah, the only noticeable difference that we have is AceZer0 did Man Under the Bridge, whereas Telethar went ahead and bribed off the Scamfish just to get a 1% return on investment. At this point, AceZer0 is just begging that the progression is not on Zora, because he has a mile to go in order to get the money.
Yeah, that would not be a fun grinding sequence, even with a Houlihan.
Right. I mean, to be honest, at that point, you're just better off, in my opinion. You just start at Sank, you hang a left, and you go up to the lumberjack area. There's 2 bush crabs there. As a matter of fact, there is a possible third under the big rock. Oh, I lied. First one was Moon Pearl. And AceZer0 is bailing out. And you know what? I like that.
Yeah, it's a very aggressive play, but again, AceZer0 is chasing the game in this series against someone like Telethar. You know, they really ran short on options. I like the idea of the gamble for that being it here in the front of Escape, and make the push into Dark World and other checks. Not to say that I would do it, because I tend more toward thoroughness, but I think it's a very reasonable and interesting play. Thieves, Mire, and Ice as the pendants. 5, 6, and Swamp. Telethar is continuing into Darkross here. Did not find anything downstairs.
Yeah, no, my apologies. You had said something, and all of a sudden my headset just went bah, and I had no clue what happened. I thought it was on
Oh,
your
no.
end, but
Oh,
you know,
okay.
I did miss it. Was there anything else in the front of Escape?
I did not see anything of note get picked up.
Oh wow. Okay,
Ooh,
well there's a
but there is
sword.
something in Darkross.
All right, so that's really interesting. So Telthar has a sword. Will have a sword advantage. Also has the knowledge that there is a sword on Zora's Ledge. Now in this mode, there are 4 swords placed, and it's capped at tempered. I don't really expect AceZer0 to do Dark Cross literally anytime soon. And depending on if he ever decides to check the Zora area, that sword information is going to be neglected. So this could be a real pivotal point, especially if we get to the late game. And AceZer0 is looking for a sword in order to be able to defeat Ganon, because here we still at least need 2.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, again, AceZer0, pretty reasonable choice to skip out on, the remainder of Escape, but that Darkross check is not one that is going to be high priority, one would think. And if you were in this situation here, Ed, with like this being Pendant Thieves, not a ton of other stuff really available in Logic right now with Myth's Dark World access, what would it take to make you continue through Thieves Town here rather than maybe pushing Hype Cave?
A small key in the first 4 has always been my rule. So if there's a small key in the first 4 chests here, I will rush the back even in Pendant Thieves. If there is not, and I know that we got a big key, a map, and I think maybe a piece of heart.
Yeah.
And $5. So there's only 2 items left, and one of them might be locked behind a hammer. I'm bailing out of here right now. If there's a small key that was in the front, that puts the back into Logic. But without that small key, literally the only thing that's in Logic would be the Maiden Cell. And at that point, I really would be stretching myself to saying, okay, well, I'm really making an investment for something that more than likely may not pay off. So I like the decision here from AceZer0. Check the first 4, bail out, and to be honest, I'd expect the same thing here from Telethar.
Yeah, it's been looking like he's been attempting to set up a Death Warp.
Yep. But I mean, you're right. Technically, I mean, we got the Dark World access, but outside of Skull Woods and Thieves Town, we have the dig game here that we're doing here. We do have the beginning of Mirrorless Smith Chain if we really wanted to. We have Hype Cave, we have Stumpy, and with our current layout, that's actually all that's in Logic. We don't have Hammer or Flippers in order to get to the pod area or to be able to logically check Catfish. So I would anticipate there being something here. Now, what that something is, stay tuned and we'll find out.
Yeah, I think Ace did a quick dip into the front of Skull and didn't find anything.
Chat's saying we have flips. Do we actually have flippers? Did I miss that?
Did he get that in Skull and we missed it?
Ace has him. Okay, so I guess the front. I guess the Skullwoods.
That was
Skullwoods
something that I didn't see. Thank you, chat.
See, this is why the chat is amazing. Fixing the mistakes that I make. Let's go. Yeah, so okay, so with those flippers, we actually have East Dark World access, so we can go to the pod area, we can go check the Pyramid Ledge, we can go to Catfish. But again, as far as the whole spectrum of things are concerned, it's still kind of limited. Like, there's been no real, like, flexibility that our runners could have to say, you know, hey, let's make an out-of-logic mountain check. We don't even... There's not much that we can do in the mountain as it is anyway. Yeah, we could rescue the old man. We can check inside Spectacle Rock. Hey, there's a hammer. Now we could definitely go to East Dark World.
Yeah, although Ace is still short on money. After buying those bombs from the bomb shop for 100 rupees.
If I was Ace, to be honest, I would have done a tier 3 tree pull there. With that one statue. Just to see, because with the bow and the hammer, we do have the ability to beat pod. Now, without the lamp, it's not in logic. But again, as they always say, always be complete. You know, always be completing crystal dungeons or something like that. The ABCDs of ALTTP randomizer. Now, if there is, like, say, $50 right here on the Pyramid Ledge, I just say no to Catfish and go rush pod. And hey, what a shock! It's, what is that, like heart piece number 24 already?
Yeah, I think so. That's why we need the tracker. I mean, they'd have to pick, I don't know, maybe there'd have to be the soft tracker for the ones that they choose to skip, but we saw.
Right. Also, another thing in chat. Is there a tree pull at the pyramid? Yes, there is. The very last, what would you call it? The Ganon plate, that statue thing or whatever. It actually does treat as a tree pull as well. So again, if that was something that, you know, possibly would give us something. Now, I know that tier 1 was single rupees, but there are 3 tiers here. Tier 1 is, correct me if I'm wrong on this, I always forget, but it's tier 1 is, you know, you kill 1 enemy, between 1 to 3 enemies, and you get a tree pull. If you kill 4 enemies without taking damage, that's your tier 2, and then if you kill 4 enemies and take damage, that's your tier 3.
I think it's pretty close to that.
Yeah, it might, tier 2 and tier 3 might be flipped around, but, you know, I just kill stuff and do the tree pulls and see what happens, and if anything good happens, we're good, so.
Yeah, that Dark World statue pull, that's pretty standard in, like, inverted seeds, correct?
Yeah. It's not something that you really think about, but again, it's like that game knowledge that if you had, you know, you never know when it's going to come into in a critical situation. Now, AceZer0 did farm up enough money. What's he up to? Oh, he's going to make an early play into Ice Palace. No Samaria, so
he can.
Oh, no, actually, no. He's going to do.
Waterfall.
Waterfall Fairy. And you're correct. Yeah, no sword. You know, and if he continues on with this and just says, you know what? Oh my God, they're the silvers. Are you serious, game? That's actually kind of funny. Waterfall Fairy today is giving us red goo. Not a bad thing. All right, so now this is a really so this is a really good thing here for Ace. Now, at this point, Zora is just gonna probably never happen in a million years, but is gonna see that sword and say, yeah, you know what, I need that. So that's one sword that at least Telethar has knowledge of, that at least Ace is gonna be able to get. Again, there are 4 swords placed We don't necessarily need the one that is in Dark Cross, because I don't see when AceZer0 is going to go back for that. So he should be okay, assuming that the swords are not really trolling. To be determined.
Now, you would think that Ace is probably also going to follow Telethar's lead to pod here, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Although, again, that sword and the flippers and bombos, we do have the ability to do Ice Palace if we really wanted to. It'd be very slow.
It's
Without
also
a
a
hook shot.
pendant.
Yeah, you know what, Ice Palace, mark my words, Ice Palace is going to have something very important today. You watch. That is the Mr. Ed prediction of the day. Ice Palace will have something. What that something is, I don't know. You know what? I'm gonna say it's gonna have the. I'm gonna say it's gonna have the flute, which it's gonna get you to Pendant Mire. But nobody cares about Mire. You just gotta go to Mire Shed, and get the ice route for go mode.
That's an elaborate prediction. I like it.
I like chaos. What can I say?
I think we need a Mr. Ed's prediction of the day graphic.
Oh dear. Yeah. It'd be wrong all the time.
Day since last correct prediction.
Oh my God, yes. Yeah, for anybody that watches other people's streams when they have, like, you know, different counters for when stuff happens. Yeah, we'll create one here for SpeedGaming. And, you know, last time Mr. Ed was right in a prediction. Never. Question in chat, where are silvers? Well, if you look on AceZero's side, if you give him about, I don't know, 45 seconds, you'll find out. They are on the pod bridge. Because this game has jokes today. And I love it. We get a small key here in Dark U. And a map, so there will be an item here in Harmless Hellway. Or the big key. I didn't see if we got the big key yet. And in case you guys missed where silvers are, there they are. This is where, you know, the nice thing about being able to do this dark maze from the top. You have a sword to be able to guide you. And again, this is okay, there's a sword right there. That's, you know, and you know what, that's really good for AceZer0, assuming he can get to that. That's actually really good. The sword being a guide, again, you know, navigating through these dark rooms is literally nothing but practice. You know, whether it's looking at the maps, getting hints from other runners, or be able to see it. I know that there's a monumental amount of tools and resources that are available, and it's stuff like this that is able to help out. Oh, you know, if that was me, that would have refilled my health. You got lucky, dude. You got lucky.
Yeah, you make a great point about the vast amount of resources in this community, though. Not only like physical resources, online maps and stuff like that. I know that Sakura Tsubasa's darkroom maps helped me a ton when I started off, and I still use them. But you know, the amount of people that are willing to give information to new players and experienced players is really awesome.
Oh, absolutely. You know, that's part of the appeal that I have, and that I try to stress to anybody that enjoys watching races like these. Which, again, if you like what you see, and you're not following SpeedGame, do that, obviously. But feel free to please give our runners here, Telethar and AceZer0, follow. They're two not only incredible runners, but incredible people in general that I've been able to have a pleasure of getting to know. And just like so many people in the whole Rando community, they're so nice, willing to help out, share their knowledge. And if you're not part of the community and you're interested in you know, running and doing races like these, or just, you know, doing it in a very casual environment, there's a place for you. And we'd be more than happy to help out. These guys put on a great show for you guys, put on a great show for us to come, and looking forward to seeing what else that we got going on here, because this is nothing but a blast on my end.
Yeah, I mean, I totally echo those sentiments, and you know, I apply them to yourself, Ed, as well as our tracker today, Lana, being like two of the nicest people I've met in this community. I wouldn't be as heavily involved as I've tried to be without folks like you and Lana and all of the other people in this community. It's really outstanding.
Speaking of outstanding, Telethar did a fantastic job getting through the Dark Turtles here, as he's going to make his way to Helmsar King. He's going to throw a couple bombs here, at the very least 2, and then try to finish it off with the mass. So basically, the bombs end up being 4 hammer hits worth of damage. So it will get a couple bombs, couple hammer hits, mass breaks off, silver arrow to the whatever that is. Down goes Helmet King for money.
Crystal number 2 for Telethar. AceZer0 is about to make his way to the back as well. This dungeon, though, did not have, unless I'm missing something, did not have anything progression-wise. I mean, silver arrows and an extra sword are awesome.
Yeah, no, once again, we've kind of hit that roadblock. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, what we have left is smith chain, hammer pegs, the magic bat, which we're not going to talk about. Actually, yeah, the magic bat actually isn't logic with those flippers, and good old catfish. Which I forgot. Did AceZer0 check catfish? I know he went to the pyramid, and I forgot if he continued on. He did. Okay. See, this is why Lana's
a piece of heart. Yeah.
A piece of heart. Oh, yeah, that's right. The 29th piece of heart there.
Well, Telethar may be so fortunate as to find that as well, as he heads to the pyramid, and you'd have to figure catfish too, but
yeah. So I mean, smith chain. Oh boy.
yeah. For Telethar, though, you know, a few more things do look open because of that front of skull that he has not done.
Yeah, I think in his case, what he's going to end up doing, if I were to make another Mr. Ed's probably wrong prediction, is once he checks catfish here, he'll go back into the dark world. He's going to scout out. He's going to go ahead and scout out Skullwood, see what's there. And when he gets flippers, he's going to have a decision to make, to either go to save and quit, and immediately beeline right to, say, Waterfall Ferry, if that had the answer, or just suck it up and go ahead and do hammer pegs, pick up the smith, and start that sequence, which feels bad, considering we don't have a mirror, but it might be necessary.
Yeah, Telethar was aiming, or at least hedging, to potentially do that when he took the smith originally, before finding that hammer, which magically turned a frog into a monkey. We're not going to discuss how. So it'll be interesting. Yeah, will be interesting to see if he goes back to that route. But AceZer0 did just as outstanding a job in those dark rooms as Telethar did, and is just a little bit behind in terms of progression here. But again, he does have those flippers that Telethar has not yet picked up.
Yeah, I mean, again, AceZer0, just with the way things have happened here, kind of has to say, okay, the rest of Escape is going to be nothing. Zora is going to be nothing. And as long as he continues forward with that, I'd actually give him a little bit of a lead here at the moment because Seed is very linear from the looks of it. It's get an item, go do something. There's like very little logic breaks that we can have at this point.
I do have a
So
question, Ed. Are you hyped for the bat?
no,
Okay.
no.
Just
As a
checking.
matter of fact, I'll let you do the call on this because I'm turning away.
Well, AceZero's dropped into the bat. We all know that the bat is clutch. He's going to bestow upon AceZero.
Oh,
Oh,
come on!
there you go. So AceZero has some homework to do.
What is this? Well, you know what the book does for us? Very little. Question is he going to chase it?
It actually does feel a little bit dicey without a fire source, right?
No fire source, no boots.
That's true, yeah.
This could literally be an absolute dead thing. Now, the only thing that neither of our runners have seen is what is on Desert Ledge.
Oh, that's a good point. Telethar has obtained his flippers. Just a full heart? Wow.
Yeah, full heart. Well, oh boy, is this our one sank heart? Is it one of our 4 heart containers? Will Ace even bother picking it up? I would assume no. Yeah, this is a very bold play on Ace's side here. Like really bold. And if there is something here, this actually could be a very big turning point because I don't see Telethar. I mean, he's going to get that book, but I don't think he's going to rush. We got a small key here. Oh, the suspense. How do you put it? You know, we could call it the right side intensifies.
It's the Desert Palace Closet of Wonder and Mystery is what I call it in cross.
I like it. Yeah, there's our big key. As we get a raid here from SpeedGaming Portuguese, thank you very much. We have ourselves the 2023 ALTTPR main tournament featuring Telethar and AceZer0 in the second round, the round of 32. Telethar currently has a 1-0 lead in the best of 3 series here, so this is a do or die matchup for AceZer0 here as he looks to extend it for game 3. And Telethar hopes to be able to finish this seed out, or finish this series out here. Here we go. Boots today, lock the compass. So there are 2 items here. So
one's on the boss.
One's on the boss that's locked behind fire, so we need a fire out or lamp, but we all know what's going to happen. This will be a lamp. Or another piece of heart. AceZer0 is going to... I hope he... Yeah, there you go. No,
okay.
He realizes he does not have a fire source. Alright, well... By the way, it is worth noting, we do have Smith Chain, but what did I tell you before? There will be something in Ice Palace, Pendant Ice Palace. Oh, it's starting to look better and better.
Telethar's gonna get his tempered sword here. Which again, there's only one other sword outside of Dark Cross, and as you noted, AceZer0 highly unlikely to ever go back there because if he does find the lamp or something like that, he's probably beelining it to dungeons.
Yeah. Now, this is our first actual, like, really big sequence break here. I mean, I know we got the magic powder from the man under the bridge that nobody really wants to talk about, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to rescue the old man from the mountain, but the only thing that we have that we can do here, and they're both currently out of logic, is to rescue the old man and to take a look inside Spectacle Rock. But if nothing else, at some point or another, we're going to have to do this, and we're going to have the save and quit point here, so I like this play, just in case if, oh, there's our half magic that we're not getting.
Thank you, Gary.
Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna see what's inside Spectacle Rock. Ace might be like banking on the fact that the next piece of progression is just a lamp just to put this in logic, and if there is something here, could turn the point. But Telethar is gonna go ahead and make the Ice Palace play. Pendant Ice Palace. Where there will be a flute, is my prediction. And just a piece of heart inside Spectacle Rock. So yeah, we're down to ice and mirrorless smith chain and hammer pegs. Oof. Oof.
Yes, they also have the back of Pendant Thieves, too.
That is true. We do have the back of Pendant Thieves with that hammer. You know, one way or another, that dungeon is going to be in logic. But with, man, that is, I mean, every decision that our runners are going to be making here is a very, very critical decision here, as far as what to do. AceZer0 side, I don't want to say I'd be like a little bit worried, but like he knows that his tournament life is in the line here, so he's probably going to be trying to think, what would Telethar not do? So he's going to go ahead and we're going to take the portal just north of CAC here. We're going to go to Village of Outcasts and see what he decides to do.
So Ed, if you were in Telethar's shoes right now, heading into Pendant Ice, if you find anything that's semi-significant progression, is it immediate bail?
I would, it to be honest, and I hate to say that it depends, but we got to get back into logic somehow. Now, if it's the flute might be enough for me to say I'm done. The problem is if it's like, say, like the hook shot or the mirror, the mirror I probably would bail out too, because we could do enough mirror checks down south, outside of the mountain. But none of the mountain is in logic as of right now. We have no flute, we have no lamp, so it really depends what we get here. But in his situation, especially since we got bombs and there's only 2 more items here, if I find of anything of consequence, yeah, I'm out of here.
Ace, meanwhile, heading into the back of Thieves here. So we know 2 more items.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, there's that. There's hoof. Yeah, it's... Oof. Hey, didn't I say that there's going to be progression in Ice Palace?
You absolutely did. That's why we have the prediction.
I also said it was going to be a flute, so I'm still wrong.
That's why you need to be as vague as possible.
Yes,
there will be items in Ice Palace.
Yes, there will be something. Well, you know what? 3 bombs is technically an item, so I was never going to be wrong.
There you go.
Chat asking for hookshot and swamp. Yes, I like that. That was a Telethar, dude, you have no health.
So, yeah, you get one.
You have
one
no
heart.
health. Oh, there you go. Okay, all right. There you go.
Waterfall potion coming in clutch there.
Yeah, I did miss it on Ace's side. Did he? Was there an item in the attic?
I missed it as well, unfortunately.
Oh, there's our small key. Stole those compass and attic. So okay, so we got 2 items here. There's our last item in ice, so we're done. We are out of here. 10 arrows in the big chest in Thieves Town. That's not progression. Now, will Telethar stay in logic here? No, he will not. This is a mountain play if I ever saw it. With that mirror, we're able to get a lot more done into the mountain. Paradox Cave, Spiral Cave, Tower of Hera, depending on what the big key situation is. We got a plethora of stuff that we could do there. And AceZer0 takes down Blind. Nicely done there. 4. 3 bombs. Oof.
I like the bold calls that AceZero's made. Just nothing has really panned out of them for the most part, unfortunately.
Yeah, there's just been it's been a slog, to say the least. It's like everything is happening at a very slow pace as far as the progression items are concerned. And then you can go ahead and you can beat a dungeon, but really outside of the Mirror and Ice Palace, and the bow will just say in Eastern, really hasn't been much of anything in any of these other dungeons. Oh yeah, we did get Mitts in Eastern as well, but it's just been very, very slow go around here. Ace gets the 300 rupees. Wanted to save and quit, but is going to go ahead and I gotta start the mirrorless smith chain. Which, since we know where the mirror is, this going to be very slow. Very slow to do this.
At this point, would you be just logically I'm trying to think back logically through the seed. Is it likely that there is something on the smiths, or is it just as likely that there's something off the mirror checks that you got off of Ice Palace?
I'm honestly thinking at this point with the mirror we're able to do in logic we're able to do, I believe, 3 checks. We got Graveyard Ledge, we have K45, and we have Bombos Tablet with that book. Outside of that, the entirety of the amount that Telethar is doing is out of logic. So unless the lamp or even the flute shows up in one of those 3, I'd almost feel like the smith is going to have something. Now the problem is if it's something as minor as the lamp, yeah, that doesn't help out matters at all. Or even the front of swamp. The front of swamp is an option as well. Yeah, 3 bombs there. I mean, this is, I hate to say it, just nothing is going Ace's way here. Oh God. But he's gonna see through to this. It probably kind of feels bad on his end that he went ahead and did Thieves. Now, I will say this much. This might be as good of a time as any if he wanted to go ahead and check Ped, to see if there's any sense of urgency to go ahead and do Ice Palace. But he's going to go into here, and he's going to pick up the purple chest and end up having the save and quit.
After this, what does Ace have? Is it solely Ice Palace?
After this, the problem with him is he has Ice Palace. He has the 2 other checks in the front of Escape that he abandoned.
Oh, right.
And he has Zora. But I really honestly think those decisions that he made right there are just basically going to be, you know what, if there's something there, then you know what, I sealed my fate, and he's, in my opinion, he has to stick with this. If, depending on what purple chest is here, if it does not amount to anything, I would rush Ice Palace. You just gotta stick with it.
Yeah, with those checks being so immediate, it definitely makes sense. You'd have to think that your opponent, no matter who it is, whether it's Telethar or anybody else, is likely to have done those at some point.
Right. I mean, I'll be honest, the worst thing that AceZer0 could see right here is the lamp. Or the fire rod. To be honest, that fire rod, the only reason why I say it's not the greatest thing is he's now going to go ahead and do, he's going to do the rest of the desert here, which is 1 item. Now, that 1 item might be, say the hook shot, might be something that's like extremely valuable. Oh, there's the hook shot, never mind.
Never mind.
But yeah, this is basically, you know what, okay, fine, I'm in the area, I'm going to go ahead and I got to beat this dungeon anyways. Now, we don't necessarily need the flute here because Meyer is a pendant. So this might be the only way that we can actually beat Desert. But this is more of a time slog for him in order for him to be able to find the rest of the progression in order to beat the seed. You know, whereas Telethar is going to be able to say, okay, I got my hook shot. I can now do Swamp Palace if I wanted to, and it could get to a situation where he finds his go mode and is able to go mode other dungeons. You know, so again, a lot of the big thing here is not only finding. Oh yeah, there's Samaria. Is not only finding the items, but finding them in the right order. So yeah, this will be interesting. Now, we do have to do that. Fire Rod is 100% hard required this seed, so at some point Telethar is going to have to do it. But with that hook shot, it's going to be a little bit delayed.
Interesting call for Telethar here, diving into that very first check of Turtle Rock.
Yeah, I mean, he's here. Obviously, we know that the Fire Rod is not going to be here, so for the best case for him is to be able to get locked out immediately like he was. And again, nowhere along the line here did he find the lamp. So if Hera Basement ends up being something, now we don't necessarily need the big key for Hera itself, because we have the hook shot and Telethar is very skilled for the Hera pop. Which, if you guys haven't seen, prepare to be amazed because I know Telethar won't let me down. But we're gonna go ahead and see what we got here. If there is an item, Telethar is not gonna be able to get this unless the lamp just magically is here. We get Desert completed on AceZero's side. He's got that Fire Rod. There is one item, I believe, left, if I'm not mistaken, in Skull Wood, so I wouldn't be surprised if he just goes ahead and does that, but we are going to need that mirror from Ice Palace.
Yeah, it's just so much easier for Telethar to get around now. Because again, as you know, AceZer0 is going to have to get funneled back to Ice at some point.
Right.
And Telethar has got that pretty much the entirety of the mountain cleared out at this juncture.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, just kind of looking over what we have left as far as what the dungeons are, between the two runners, if I am not mistaken, what a shock! We're in an Ice Rod hunt.
Yeah, that's accurate, I believe.
I mean, if we want to see mass chaos, Ice Rod on pet, anybody?
That was a pretty cool spin kill from Telethar, I'll say.
Now, was that both items, or was there an item in Hera Basement?
I believe he got both.
Oh, the lucky dog. Never punished. Oh, map in the basement. Well, you know what? I'd fluff it anyways. Technically, that map is required in order to logically beat the dungeon, so you gotta go get it. No ifs, ands, or buts.
So Telethar can now do Swamp in its entirety.
Yeah, now with Telethar's case here, now he does not know if he needs boots for Swamp Palace, or for Desert Palace. So in his case, he's got to be looking at it as he, for a fact, needs both rods and possibly boots. Would you go ahead and do a left side swamp right off the rip?
If I was 3 from go, I probably would. In other situations, I would make whatever the wrong call is.
Oh, you sound like me. I like it.
I've watched a lot of your streams, Dad.
Well, then
I know how to last locate.
Do you know how to complain?
A little bit.
All right. See, that's all I cared about teaching. The teachings of Mr. Ed. Wrong predictions and complaining. And last locating. Nice moth fight from AceZer0 here. Yeah, for the big key.
I'm not 100% sure about this, but there is a non-zero chance that the second item is in the front of Skull that Telethar got by stealing the key.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure what the small key layout is, but I thought this was going to be... Oh, no, there
never
you
mind,
go.
I was wrong.
$5. There it is.
It was just an exciting second item in the back.
Yeah, $5. Let's go.
It's no heart piece, but it could have been an overflow from one of the things we don't get.
That's right.
Just imagine it's a bottle.
Yeah. So now AceZer0, so I'm just trying to, again, look ahead into here, as obviously we got both our runners doing two different things here. Telethar in Swamp House. Oh, there's the flute. Wonderful. Well, I did say Ice Route is in Mire Shed, so, you know, that's all my fault. But Ace is going to get that mirror along the ways here. And there will not be an item on Colts there. The only thing that Pet could have at this point would be an Ice Rod. But it's going to be very interesting if he decides to make the same sequence break and go up to the mountain. He's going to get his hook shot. He has a Fire Rod. He's going to have access to go into Turtle Rock. I wonder if he's going to go ahead and just try to YOLO Turtle Rock for that Ice Rod.
Yeah, I could definitely see that at that point.
Because at that point, that's all he has for go mode. So, you know, if he's able to, say, do a go mode Swamp House, especially considering Telethar got that big key and he's still 3 items from go mode, I would be pretty surprised if he doesn't go back into Swamp to clean up the rest of it in here. Question in chat, anything important in Swamp House? The only thing that we got out of here was the flute, which gets us Mire access, Pendant Mire, but it's going to make him possibly go to Desert. And he can find out that he's not in Boots, he's not Boots locked. Nice quick Ice Palace bomb jump there from AceZer0. Nicely done.
Yeah, really impressive.
One of the harder ones to kind of get a grasp of here. So, but yeah, Telethar, as predicted, is going to go ahead and finish out the rest here. So, you know, I like it. I like it from his standpoint. You know, whether or not he considers it or not, I'm not 100% certain. But you know, he's up 1 game to none. He's kind of taking the attitude of, you know, I'm going to be as efficient as possible. I mean, if you look at what he has done, he's been doing a really good job as far as being efficient. He has very little, if not no, isolated skips at this point. So I like this play. Just say, you know what? I know that I'm 3 from go mode. Well, you know, we know that it's 2. He might still think it's 3. Let me just make sure it's not here, because you could easily lose the race if there's something here that you neglect. And if your opponent just goes ahead and does it, then yeah, that doesn't really, there's not going to be much you're going to be able to do. So, but Ace did get that mirror and bailed out. So, this could be very interesting once he gets into the Turtle Rock area, if he just YOLOs that. And, you know, I mean, have you ever seen Ice Rod and Turtle Rock there before, Aria?
icerod.laserbridge.meme, I believe.
Ah, there we go.
Ace does have one additional check up here too that Telethar could not do, which was Ether Tablet, which, again, in a vacuum, not likely to be anything, but if it is...
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
That's a multi-step item chain to have to deal with.
ugh. I'm gonna go on a limb and say it's a piece of heart. No, I'm wrong. What a shock. You know, and by the way, I just got to thinking about this with Telethar getting that flute and him having to do the mirror checks. He can actually do this in a way if he really wants to be efficient. He'll bail out of here. He's going to go ahead and do K45. He's going to start the Smith chain sequence, activate the flute, and then as long as he goes all the way to purple chest, he'll get that fire rod.
Yeah,
and
that's
at that
probably
point,
the best case.
Yeah, that'd be the best case. And then at that point, you know, you get that fire rod. You you got Mire Shed, you have Desert. You will kind of want to see if your boot's locked at that point. You know, I don't know if we go as far as to dip into Mire, but oh god, really? That's the logic. Oh god, oof. That is some really silly logic there. Well,
yeah, that's pretty torture.
I'm telling you, the lamp logic in most of these rando seeds is like the most obscure thing I've ever seen in my life. It's just brutal.
It feels like there's rarely any in between. Either it's, hey, here's the free lamp right in the well, or no, you had to dip into these 5 Dark World dungeons first, and then it was out in Checkerboard Cave. Didn't you know?
Yeah. Well, you know, all right. So there's a mention in chat. Not as bad as a swamp lamp. Well, let me tell you something though. Keep in mind what the actual logic chain was. The logic chain was you get the mirror from Ice Pals, so then you can go into Swamp Pals without the hook shot to go get the flute, and then take that flute, go to the mountain. That's your logical mountain to get the hook shot to go back to Swamp Palace and finish it. Which, any time that a logic chain is technically a hard required double dip of Swamp Palace is pretty nasty. Or actually, no, with that lamp, never mind. I scratched that. Well, you know what? I like my logic better.
Well, we had to kickstart it by dipping into a dungeon that was logically not completable.
Yeah,
to get mitts.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, to get mitts and then say, oh, hey, by the way, here's your bow. Enjoy.
Telethar's about to enjoy, find the joys of reading here.
Nobody's going to enjoy the joys of reading here. Actually, in retrospect, that's actually kind of an uncomfortable book. Because he kind of wants to just activate the flute and turn in the purple chest. But, you know, then you'd have to go back down south into the Dark World, or go specifically back into a portal to get into Dark World if you really wanted to check Bombo's tablet, which I don't know if that's happening anytime soon.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask that very question as to, I mean, that's something that's been isolated quite a bit at this point, or has the potential to. Would you,
at this point,
just turn in the chest?
At this point, I would just turn in the chest, see what it is. It's easier for me to turn in the chest to see what it is, and then okay, if it's nothing, then either make my decision based off of that, or go ahead and do something like Graveyard Legend and say, you know what, that book doesn't mean anything.
Telethar enthused about that fire rod placement.
Hey, you're not kidding. Alright, so Ace got the hook shot here. And he's going to go ahead and finish off Hera. He's looking at it as he knows that he doesn't necessarily need boots right now. Oh, never mind. Oh no, wait, yeah, it's Ether for Mire, but Mire is a
right.
a pendant. But Don't worry. When have you ever seen the key under the doormat? Not yet.
The other doormat.
Yeah, exactly. The other doormat, otherwise known as Checkerboard Cave. So basically, the logic behind what Ace is doing here is he now knows that he is likely in a Ice Rod Go mode. As long as, I don't know if, I was going to say that fair, I think it was going to screw up the ancillary, so he's going to go ahead and come up and down, mirror, and reset this here. Moldorm, even in death, is causing havoc for runners. But he knows that he's in Ice Rod Go mode. Hopefully he doesn't need boots for the GT Big Key. So if the Ice Rod is here, then he can rest assured that, he's in good shape. But in this case for him, since he's up here, I would almost just take the chance to say, you know what, Ice Rod might be here, because if you can mitigate one more mountain trip or be able to go mode, like say Swamp Palace, go mode Swamp Palace will make up a significant amount of time. And nearing an hour and 15 minutes, no boots. I know these runners are, once again, blaming me.
Plus for Telethar here, only having to single dip desert. Again, won't be super slow for Ace on the way back. Oh wait, no, did he beat? Did I miss Ace actually beating it?
Yeah, Ace did. Yeah, when he got that fire.
That's
when he got that fire rod from chest. Yeah, and that was my big concern was this was at the time when Telethar was on the mountain. Getting additional checks in. Ace was kind of limited to saying, well, I got this crystal dungeon that I can beat, but I'm gonna go ahead and there's only one item left into here. And it was only just a full heart container. But this is the moment of truth here. Ace is gonna go into Turtle Rock, and for his tournament's sake, I love this play. If the Ice Rod is here and he's able to go mode Swamp Palace, that's going to be a big time savings. He doesn't even have to worry about left side swamp or anything. If the Ice Rod is not here and Telethar holds off onto it, that could be a little bit of a difficult situation for Ace.
After this and beating Skull, how much does Telethar actually have left?
Not much. He does have the back of Thieves Town that AceZer0 did. Back at Thieves Town, Skull Woods, which Ace has already done. Again, there's only one item left into there. Then I believe you have checks like Graveyard Ledge.
Yeah, Pyramid Fairy now too.
Pyramid Fairy is always a interesting. Oh! Ooh, we finally get to go fast! Now again, yeah, those boots. I mean, it sounds silly, but those boots could be something where the Ice Rod is behind either King's Tomb or Bonk Rocks. Again, that kind of throws another wrench into the whole plan here.
Now, you discussed Ace's mindset earlier with this play into Turtle Rock. If you're in Telethar's shoes here, obviously we know he's just going to find those 5 rupees in the back of Skull Woods. How aggressive are you going to be in terms of clearing the remainder of the overworld before making a similar play up to Turtle Rock?
To be honest, that is an insanely good question. I think with what little that he has left, and considering what he does have, he's probably not going to want to go to Thieves Town, literally ever. and he has Graveyard Ledge. I think at this point, if I was him, I would go ahead and just rush into Turtle Rock at this point. Now, he will be able to check what's on PED afterwards if he so chooses.
Yeah, obviously, if that's the answer, that's pretty huge advantage, and he'd have to know that he'd need to find Ether somewhere.
Yeah, he would have to find Ether, and he would have to go ahead and beat Thieves Town, something that Ace has already done. Both runners would end up having to beat Colts there. Because at least Telethar got all the items out of it. AceZer0 would have to go back into there, but if he ever found out that Ice Rod is there before going back, which at this point I don't think he's going to. Yeah, this would be really interesting. But you know, Ice Rod's probably just gonna be right here in Mimic Cave. Let's see, the Misted prediction of the day. Well, you know what? It was blue. You know what? I get half credit.
I think that's fair.
Thank you. Are you the official arbiter of the Mr. Ed's prediction game?
I'll be willing to step up to that role.
Perfect. I mean, I already got arbiters in other facets of my life. Let's go. Third credit. You know what? I deserve. I think I deserve quarter credit. To be honest, I deserve no credit.
It's rapidly diminishing.
Yes, yes. Before you know it, I award you 0 points, and may God have mercy on your soul. Alright, here we go. For people that want to see what's on PED, the answer is...
No way.
What a shock!
I can't
Could
believe
you have ever guessed? Yeah, one of the 48 pieces of art. You know it'd be funny? If it said, this is the 46 piece of heart. Specifically the 46 in logic.
I think that's what it said in the like, highly in text at the end.
It makes sense.
It was an incomplete translation. Link's not fluid. And fluent in Hylian.
That's right. Alright, so here we go. This is the moment of truth here. AceZer0 is looking for an Ice Rod. Telethar is going into Turtle Rock here. Actually, he's probably going to go ahead and check Ether Tablet first. Get his disappointment of, what, 20 bucks? Oh, Spike Cave, by the way, is the thing. Oh, we got the greatest item in the game. The Fillet. Ice Rod is not here. Oh. So Ace is going to go ahead and he's going to try to save this portal. Now, if he's going to save this portal... Yeah, he's going to... Alright, so I see what he's going to do here. He's going to save and quit here. And... Be curious. Yeah, I like this play. He's going to go ahead and he's going to take these boots. This would be the quickest thing for him to see, okay, is this my answer? Bonk Rocks or King's Tomb? Was this a hard required double dip of Turtle Rock to get the boots, to do the boots checks, to get the Ice Rod? Or is it going to be something like Ether and we have to go to Meyer? Or there it is. There's the Ice Rod. We're in go mode. At 1 hour, 21 minutes, and 40-ish seconds, AceZer0 is in go mode. Now, Telethar does have a sword advantage, and we cannot take that lightly. You know, between not only the Ganon's climb or the Ganon's tower climb, yeah, I think AceZer0 just realized he has to do Swamp. But what he needs to do, if he goes to Swamp, oh no, he cannot. He can't save that portal ever. If he does Swamp, he can't save that Turtle Rock portal. But the nice thing here is he's going to have boots, and he can go mode Swamp Palace, completely avoid left side Swamp. And this will be time that he's going to be able to make up. So Telethar is going to go all the way through Laser Bridge, find out that the Ice Rod is not there. And I'm going to imagine he's going to do the same exact thing. Start at Sank, see what these boots checks provide. Get his Ice Rod, but I think at that time, Ace is going to have a slight lead. But unless he gets that third sword, there's going to be a combat advantage that Telethar is going to have over him. So this is going to be, I think, a really exciting conclusion to the race.
Yeah, this is really interesting. I especially love, especially watching from the outside. It's definitely a lot easier than when you're playing. But seeing these divergences, and you definitely have a better conception of the time it takes to do things than I would. But it's going to be very intriguing to see how things shake out when these two players effectively converge near Ganon's tower.
Yeah, I'm actually thinking if I get this right, I'm thinking that. By the way, okay, Ace is making a couple checks here to see if there's a sword. Because again, the long-lasting meme, for anybody that is not familiar with this, the long-lasting meme is that Swamp Palace always has a sword. Now, I wouldn't go too far deep into this. Obviously, left side swamp is never going to happen. If you want to go ahead and check the diver down, the second diver down set, be my guest. But that's basically about it. That and the waterfall chest. But at this point for him, and again, as you mentioned, as outside viewers, every decision that he makes is critical. Now, he will, in my estimation, he's going to have a very slight lead over Telethar when this is all said and done. But the more checks that he ends up making here is going to be more time that's going to be given back to Telethar. And with that combat advantage, especially in Ganon, if it ends up being a difference between Tempered and Master, that is going to be enough to swing things to Telethar.
Yeah. Do you happen to recall what the extra sword overflows to in this mode?
I believe it should just be a green 20.
Oh, green 20, okay. So we have not seen that on Telethar's side.
Correct.
Okay.
And again, Ace is, as I mentioned before, Ace is an incredibly gifted runner here. Also, super chill dude. I would expect him. He has one bottle. I forgot if he used it. I know Telethar used it with the red goo, but without the joys of half magic, and if you're going to be doing a Master Sword Ganon, you almost feel like you have to have a blue potion, or at least something with magic, because you never know what's going to happen, especially when it comes to Ganon. Master Sword Ganon is no easy task.
Yeah, and plus the fact that, as you know, these players are stuck on green mail for the entirety of the seed. It doesn't take very much in a Ganon fight to knock your health down pretty substantially.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, yeah, these puffs here that Ace is running into take 2 hearts of damage, and he's down to 5 hearts. He only can take 2 more hits. Well, he can only take 1 more hit here. But as long as he gets this last puff, just takes 1 silver. And there he goes. Nicely done. Now, the other thing that, you know what, to be honest, something I didn't take into consideration, Telethar is going to be able to save the portal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually, that is huge. Yeah, if Telethar is probably going to bomb this here, save the portal, do the quickest thing possible, which is the booch checks, preserve that portal. Telethar is more than oh boy. He might be able to finish Turtle Rock before Ace does. This is going to be... Wow, this is such a good race.
Yeah, it is.
And Ace is not bothering getting a potion. So whatever that he has, which I'm pretty certain is just a red goo, is what he's going to be stuck with.
Yeah, the only thing that you could possibly put in there at this point is a fairy, which is not going to help you with magic. It's something.
Oh boy,
but...
oh boy. Well, there's Ether. Yeah, no, and he's gonna go ahead and he's gonna check the other. Telethar's probably thinking, oh no, do I really have to go to Meyer? Is the ice rod really there? And he's gonna find out that, you know what, the ice rod is not there. Alright, so Ace is back in the Turtle Rock without a preserved portal. Telethar is gonna be able to go back to the mountain, and start off on Laser Bridge by preserving that portal. Again, that is insanely good game knowledge and good heads-up play there. You know, again, any little time savings is insanely critical.
Yeah, I mean, it's been extremely impressive to watch both of these players execute throughout this seed. It has not been an easy seed to play.
I know I would have been complaining up the wazoo.
So your win chance would have gone up exponentially.
Absolutely, that's my secret. Yeah, so here's the big difference. Preserving that portal, Ace was able to get to the mountain and into Turtle Rock first, but because Telethar was able to preserve that portal, he's able to bypass everything and go right to Laser Bridge.
Yeah, just really fortunate there. Oh right, Ace also didn't get that lamp either. Not a huge swing of things, but had it been, I guess, a silverless Ganon fight, it would potentially prove more problematic. Man, you called it, Ed. I mean, Telethar made up that difference pretty swiftly. Finishes off Trinex for crystal number 7. We have a lot of numbers in chat. 1 through 22. There are 22 locations the Ganon's Tower Big Key could be. Get your favorite number in chat.
Oh, my number is gonna be. What would it be? 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 You know what? You know what? I'm just gonna not even give a number. It's gonna be Stalfos Room top right.
Stalfos from top right. I like it. I usually guess 1, am wrong. But
well, you're hoping those boots really matter.
Well, I usually don't start with the torch, so.
No,
I'll go with compass. Compass room bottom left. How about that?
Oh God, no! Nobody likes compass room.
Imagine going to compass room.
Yeah, I'm one of those dodgers there. All right, we got a map. Small key. Come on, baby, show me the ways. Well, you know what? It was a key. I get partial credit.
Telethar mirroring out to the right side. 5 checks down. AceZer0 entering GT himself. More exciting stuff.
Yeah, see, if I were to go to Hope Room and I got that layout, Compass Room never happened. So I kind of expect Telethar to get absolutely bailed out here by the big key here.
I like that bonk strat over the spike. Didn't work out, but I like the idea.
I think that's Telethar just showing off top tier execution. Okay, piece of heart. What a shock. That's number 45, piece of heart. Oh, of course. Well, I would have been late to that big key. Well, rip me. All right, we are on to the climb. That was what? Check 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe?
Was that the chest I picked? I picked it like 5 seconds ago, and I don't even remember.
You know what? I'll give you credit on that. I'll give you credit on that. All right, looking through here, I see a couple number 8s, but you know what? All right, you could pick out the other ones that are number 8s. I'm gonna go with the one that was the first one that I see, and it's from my buddy JJo36. And in case you're wondering what you won today, what you won is a buddy of mine who also does comms in here. I think it was 10. No, it wasn't.
5, 1, 2. Yeah, it was 10.
It was 10? Well, never mind. Well, you know what, JJo, you still win 2-hour session from Goron 1988 and how to be a pirate.
Well, that's a great deal.
I think so. All right, so the number 10s. Oh, who do we got? Who do we got? Who do we got? Dude, do I really not see anybody?
I see
Oh my.
Nerd the Nerd.
Oh my god. Okay, you know what? Nerd the Nerd, you win just by the name alone. Let's go. Nerd the Nerd, you know what you get? You get 4 hours with Goron 1988.
Goron's here too. You can start
And Goron
right now.
is here on how to be a pirate. You'll learn how to have the pirate dialect, the literature, the history, the intellect of how to be a pirate, so then if you ever wanted to restream, you too could be just like Goron 1988.
I want to know what the intellect of a pirate consists of.
Arg?
You know what? That's good first lesson, I think. Nerd to Nerd, you've learned something today. Please take advantage of it.
We all have.
Unfortunately, AceZer0 is opted to go full left here.
Yes,
Telethar
AceZer0.
climbs.
Yes, AceZer0 doing the path that I do, which is last locating the big key. I mean, I hate, dude. I hate to say it. I hate to say it this way, but and I'll even mention it to him. This was kind of like the culmination of Ace's run here, especially in this matchup, where just like it just didn't work out as far as like where the stuff was. Now he was technically the first in go mode, but just the way that Telethar had cleared things, able to save a portal, able to find the big key, go coincidentally in the compass room. It just all was things went Telethar's way here.
Yeah, I mean, Ace kept it exceptionally close despite playing most of the seed with a sword disadvantage. And again, as you noted, a lot of things not working out ideally. But just a couple things at the end in terms of the pathing and routing just worked out for Telethar. Unfortunately, Ace wasn't even fortunate enough to run into the fourth sword in the pool.
Imagine finding swords.
Just go to Dark Cross.
That's right. Shows you how much of a difference, though, between Telethar going to Stalfos and going right, so doing a DM strat. The time that AceZer0 gets to get to that big key, Telethar is already on Aga 2.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
Telethar showing supreme Aga 2 strats by, missing hits, getting blue balls, completely his fault.
I wasn't sure whether to blame myself when I get blue balls, but now I know too.
Yeah, no, no. Regardless, blame Telethar for everything.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Yeah.
I learn something every day.
Yeah, if you can't blame me, blame him. And he accepts it. He's a man. He accepts responsibility. But again, just like Telethar and AceZer0, supremely cool people. Give him a follow. I'm telling you, like I'm privileged to be able to know both of them, and I only say the jokes because I know they can take them. Telethar are going to use showing off with some of these dash strats here. I know if I try this, I hug Ganon and, bad things happen. Nicely done. Nice 1-1.
How many hearts of damage is a Ganon hug on green mail?
8 hearts.
Oh dear goodness.
I mean, Telethar could hug him and have a half a heart for swag. Alright, 4 silver hits is all it takes to finish off Ganon here. It's gonna set up the fire rods here. Get 2, 3. Oh, gotta get 1 more here. And there he goes. Get your GGs in chat for Telethar, who is going to take game 2 of this series and move on to the round of 16. Where what is he gonna face? He's gonna face the winner of GGW and somebody.
Hayfield Bay.
Hayfield Bay, there we go. As he crosses the line and finishes with an official race time.gg time of 1 hour, 38 minutes, and 25 seconds.
Yeah, GG's to Telethar. And we are joined now by Telethar. GG's.
Alright, first question I have. How much blame did you put on me?
Around the time I was pulling the mirror out of Ice Palace, I was like, what's his problem? What did he do? Why did he do this to me?
I did call it. I specifically said there would be progression in Ice Palace, so that is 100% me. 100% me. But yeah, no, I just curious what you thought. The main thing that we noticed here was, like, I don't know, the first 15 minutes or 50 minutes of the seed was like this very, very slow progression. You know, you just kind of looked like you were going all over the place. It was kind of very linear. Nothing felt right. Just curious what your thoughts were as far as like the very early game, even the midway point of the game, how you felt about it, and all that fun happy jazz.
Yeah, I mean, I felt pretty bad so I was concerned when I left the the water jacks, because I didn't have Moon Pearl when I went there, because I was even considering not doing South Shore to go wait for my Moon Pearl because I didn't want to orphan all the water checks. And I got flipped, and then I left the flippers in Skull Woods. I'm like, okay, well, that sucks. So then I was like, okay, I went to the water checks and it wasn't that. So I'm like, okay, it's Ice Palace, and now I feel still even more behind. But at least I didn't do Smith Chain, and then Smith Chain has a fire rod, so I'm like, okay, great. Now I got to go back to Skull Woods. And then it was like, where do I go? Do I go look for this lamp, or do I just assume it exists? And I got hookshot. I'm like, well, that's nice, but not great. I don't know. It felt like I was probably not in great shape, but like the seed was also pretty awful, so I wasn't sure.
Yeah, I would, as a commentator and outside viewer, yeah, this seed was pretty nasty. I mean, especially, I know that you like to look things possibly in a logical standpoint. The logic on this was just dreadful. It was like it was like you had to go all over the place. I mean, it was bad enough that Turtle Rock was a actual hard required double dip to get that ice rod. But if you really think about the double dips that were required for this, I mean, it was kind of nasty. It just didn't really feel good. But again, having to go to Pendant Ice Palace, in an open mode, you'd like to be able to avoid Pendant Dungeons, but sometimes you just can't avoid it. But the one thing that I did notice from you was that regardless of what decision that you made, you were extremely efficient. So now the nice thing was, at least for AceZero's side, was when he got that Moon Pearl from the front of Escape, the first chest, he bailed out. And you went ahead and still did it. Now, granted, it didn't give you anything, but he was able to make up some time. He just had like a few little snafus, unfortunately. The biggest one, I mean, not that it was like a huge time loss, but he went to Mini Moldorm Cave with 4 bombs, and Moldorms were not cooperating. So, like, to have to go back for that for literally nothing didn't feel too good. Mm-hmm. The sequence that he got things, like he ended up double dipping Desert Palace because he got that book. And as he takes a death here, unfortunately here. But he got that book and rushed Desert Palace. And to be honest, I kind of look at it as he was, I don't want to say grasping for straws, but just trying to see, what, maybe the progression is here. But was once he got that fire rod from Purple Chest, while you were on Death Mountain, doing, clearing other checks and getting additional information, he was going back to Desert for one item, which ended up just being a heart piece, or I'm sorry, heart container. And even though with the way things worked out, he technically was in go mode, you basically had, I mean, from what I remember, you had basically nothing left. You had, what, Graveyard Ledge, you had Bombo's Tablet, you had Thieves Town,
And Pyramid Fairy, yeah.
and Pyramid Fairy, and that was it. So, you know, Ace, just the way that he, you know, the gambles that he made did make this a lot closer by, again, like skipping Hyrule Castle, not doing the rest of Ice Palace for the third item. But it just didn't really, you know, things just didn't work out his way, unfortunately. You know, and then again, you getting that third sword from, well, what ended up being the third sword from Dark Cross ends up being a huge combat advantage, especially for a Ganon fight that we're seeing from him here.
Yeah. No half magic, obviously, and no cape anyway, and like, not Samaria strats. This fight sucks.
Yeah. It certainly does. But congratulations on making it to the round of 16. Gotta be excited about the prospects of, you know, thinking that, you know what, the possibility of being a champion is on the horizon. It's 2 rounds down, but
possible, but it's still a long ways to go. It's, I mean, not like my road here has been easy, but it's only going to get harder. Currently, I think GGW won his first game, so he's up 1-0, so he's probably going to face my teammate, but, you know, Hayfield obviously could bring that back. They're both very strong players.
I mean, it was nice. It was nice for you to, you know, do the whole league and have him carry you. So now you're going to repay the favor by, you know, hoping you get matched up against him.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, that makes sense. As AceZer0 gets Ganon defeated and is about ready to cross the finish line here. Get your GGs in chat for AceZer0. As he gets into the Triforce room and finishes with an official racetime.gg time of 1 hour, 45 minutes, and 11 seconds. GG's. And speak of the devil, there he is with our runner-up here, AceZer0. GG's, dude.
GG's.
GG's, Ace.
GG's, Telethar.
Ace, I just got to say one thing, and this was my observation. I'm just curious if you felt the same way. Things just didn't seem to go your way here today. You know, kind of mainly starting with that mini Moldorm cave. I mean, the Moldorms were just not playing nice.
Yeah, there was a couple little things like that where it's just like kind of at least somewhat RNG based, and it was like that's just not ideal. Like it was going, obviously that's risky. I went in there with like only 4 bombs to kill him, and I dealt with the first 2 right, and then that last one that just like bolted straight down and like didn't bounce off any walls, and he just kept going down. Like I felt like though some of the plays I made like based on that were really good plays and could have worked out, but obviously they were still risky. Like I was just mentioning in the race room, Telethar talking like my decision to not go into Ice Palace early was like really because I felt a little bit behind. I thought that was a really good chance to try to get back a ton of time. Like if Ice Palace was empty, like I assumed that he had gone there, and that sounds like I was correct. That would have changed a lot, but
yeah, I mean, when I went there, I had Mirrorless Smith and Back of Thieves remaining, I think.
Yeah, and I still had the front of Escape because I left right at the Pearl, which again was kind of like I feel like it was a good decision at the time to like mitigate what wasn't working in a way that wasn't like wouldn't completely ruin me in most scenarios. Because like I did the early Uncle, and then it didn't pay out with anything, and then like I had kind of an awkward Kakariko still, and like then the mini Moldorm thing, and I was just like, all right, this was almost last location Pearl, which I guess I wasn't alone in that.
Nope.
It might have been last location, actually, now that I think about it. I'm not sure, because I didn't want to go back to Front of Escape, knowing that you probably didn't do Uncle early, and it would have been a little more efficient for you. So
I did do Uncle early, so.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah, you guys did the same start as far as going to Uncle there, but yeah, Ace, all you had left at that point was Logical Zora and the Front of Escape. That was it. That was all you had left.
I thought about like farming for Zora. I was like, how much do I want to skip Run of Escape? Like, we have 20 rupee bush crabs. Like, that's not the worst far. But
In fact, I did.
I did later too to get into pod. Oh, that was the other thing. My pod. That was so unfortunate. I forgot to go for the 50-50 bush on the way into the brewery because I had like just not quite enough bombs again later, just based on drops and stuff. And I needed a second bomb for Hype Cave, and then I like could not get it. And I was like trying to kill enemies on the way to get a drop, and then I ended up having to spend the rupees that I spent extra time in Dig Game to earn that I was gonna use for pod to buy bombs to get into Hype Cave. And then I had to go get more rupees somewhere, and I was like, this is awful. Some of those little things didn't.
Yeah, I had two
work.
bombs, and I went for the 50-50, and I failed both of them, like going in and leaving.
Nice.
Just,
I got
but I
the
had
one,
to for whatever reason.
I had one. How did that work? I think I had one and I got the 50-50. So then it was, one for Hype Cave still. Something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But that was an interesting seed. I'm mad that it was the Sword and Dark Cross again. I think that's the only thing I'm really mad about. I think I played okay. Early, mid-game, I had some issues, but nothing like horrible, and I played good at the end, I think, and
No, you did I will say this much again, and Ari can validate what I'm about to say here. I mean, as far as acquiring Go mode, Ace, you got it before Telethar did. And with the obvious, the sword difference, the big difference, obviously outside of that was you're probably trying to say, hey, is there any way that you could save the portal? But with having to do Swamp House, that was not going to happen. And to be honest, I don't know what's quicker, if you're to turn around and you get that ice rod and then you make a mountain climb just to finish Turtle Rock and then do swamp and then do another mountain climb.
No way, that's better.
Or you do Swamp House and then you have to do Turtle Rock from the front.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but the portal doesn't save if you save and quit from Light World. Is that correct?
That is correct. You would have had to go through Old Man Cave again to get up the mountain. You were at Bonk Rocks. You could have I don't think it's worth doing, but you would have had to just go up and go through the Old Man Rescue Cave.
I guess I'm not sure what you mean. Because I tried to save the portal and I looked at the map and there was no icon for that.
It's there. I don't know if you saved and quit. I mean, so
I did save. Oh
no, because you saved and quit.
You'd have to Death Warp.
You dropped your portal. Yeah, you'd have to.
I dropped the portal and saved and quit from the Light World. I wasn't sure if that worked because I've never been in a situation where I wanted to do that. I don't think I've always had flute when I've tried to save it.
Yeah, you basically need flute to save it because any save and quit will delete it. So
I kind of thought so, but I thought it was worth a chance. So then when I saved and quit to Death Mountain, I looked at the map and I didn't see the thing, and I was like, all right, I thought that's how it worked, that it was going to lose the portal, but I wanted to check.
Yeah, I mean, it was heads up thinking of that, but the big thing is in that particular scenario, Telethar was able to mirror flute to do King's Tomb, which, by the way, if you wanted to laugh, King's Tomb ended up having ether. So just imagine that. Hey, there's your Mire access. But lo and behold, Ice Route is just in Bonk Rocks.
Yeah, I thought I was going into Mire very shortly.
I figured. Oh, well, dude, I figured as much because I figured you probably looked at it as to say, "Oh my God, am I really gonna have to go to Mire?" And then you're probably blaming me. And then lo and behold, oh no, wait, here's the Ice Route and Bonk Rocks. Cool, let's go. Yeah, at that point, by the time Ace got into Turtle Rock, I think he got through the first couple rooms, Telethar had climbed the mountain and was able to get into the portal to go right to Laser Bridge. So what I initially thought was going to be possibly an advantage for Ace going into GT, in which, again, with that sword disadvantage, was going to be every little time savings that he could make was going to be the biggest thing. It ended up just being, Telethar's, really good game knowledge that said, you know what, I can save the portal, go right to Laser Bridge, get right to GT, and DM strats with the big key kind of made this, in my opinion, the gap that we see here a lot bigger than what it was, because it was ultimately, when it was all said and done, it was an insanely close race. If it was done the other way around, if AceZer0 did a DM strat and Telethar didn't, you know, we could be talking about a game 3 here. That's still how close it ended up being. So, and it was a privilege to be able to watch and commentate on this race, and I thank you both for it.
Yeah, thanks for the commentary and tracking. It was definitely fun to race. It was good to race against you, Telethar.
Yeah, I know for sure.
Like,
thanks for the
racing with
comments.
somebody who won the league, you know, like it's funny.
No, he got carried. He got carried.
I agree.
I mean, it doesn't matter. Win's a win.
Win's a win. There you go.
True.
It's just good decision making to surround yourself with people that are going to carry you to the win. That's the Galaxy Brain strat.
Ah, man, thanks for the comms. Thanks for the races, Ace. It was a nice race with you. Never had a race, never played against you before, so it's fun.
Absolutely. So, but we're gonna have to cut things short here. I believe that there is another event going on here. I'm not 100% certain what it is, but stay tuned here for SpeedGaming. We're gonna have some fun stuff here. I know this much as far as the main tournament schedule is concerned. Tomorrow we do have a couple races on the SpeedGaming family networks. 11:10 a.m. Eastern, and Genbro goes against Julo Ninja at SpeedGaming 2. At 12:10, Humbug versus Plasma Kappa at SpeedGaming 4. And the game 3 of the first round, Matt 7898 versus Tyler Salt on SpeedGaming 3 at 3:10 p.m. Eastern. So check out that. Check out the schedule of the SpeedGaming family networks. And again, big thanks to both Telethar and AceZer0 for putting on this race. Congrats to Telethar for making it to the round of 16. Thank you to Lana Bean for tracking. And thanks to my co-coms, Arya Stark, who I will let have the final word because I have talked way too much, and I'm sure people are tired of my voice.
Thanks, Ed. It's been a real pleasure. So thrilled to get to come with you for the first time. Yeah, I echo the sentiments. This was a great race to watch. Congrats to Telethar and AceZer0 on their performance in this tournament. Best of luck to Telethar. Thank you, Lana, for tracking. Thank you, Maddie Walkerd, for work behind the scenes that people don't see. And yeah, so many more great matches to check out. And there's a Super Metroid match coming up right here on SpeedGaming after this. So,
that's why you're so good, Arya. Thank you.
So yeah, thank you so much. Thanks again, Ed. It's been a pleasure. And hope that everyone has a great night.